The grand spoon experiment for smallmouths continues for me. The past 3 years I've been working with various spoons all season long, even into the winter, but that's another story. I'll put this guy back quick. And I can tell you this, all across the country, spoons will work for smallmouth bass. It's just a question of what period, what kind of spoon in many cases. The natural lakes that I've been fishing, the big Tony spoon, 5/8 ounce, has been producing for me. Once I get into the late summer and into the fall, I haven't done well during the summertime. On the Great Lakes, on the other hand, the guys are fishing spoons all the time, but they're fishing smaller spoons. Out west, the spoon thing for smallmouths works just about all season long. With the big spoons like this, I've been making long casts, and you're not watching your line, you're just getting a rhythm going. So you watch your line until it hits the bottom, line goes slack like that, and you start. And you don't wait, you're not watching the line so that you know that the spoon gets back to the bottom. You're just getting a rhythm going so that the spoon is actually just touching down, but it's never laying on the bottom for long. So it's something so erratic to the smallmouths, I guess, that it drives them crazy and they finally hit the big spoon. There we go. You see how the fish are just there? The spoon is dropping back, he's coming up. And that's the way it happens with the big spoons. And he's even hooked. As you can tell what they're doing, you see the way that one is hooked? You know, they're trying to pin it to the bottom. They can't quite get a handle on what it is because it's so erratic. Whoop, there, easy there, guy. But he's, you know, you can tell, they're timing it, finally timing it. They're watching it skip up and skip down and skip up and fall back. And it just touches the bottom and you skip it back up again. You never leave it on the bottom long enough so that they know what it actually is. Because if you do that, they're not going to bite. You're trying to trick one of the most curious fish swimming in fresh water. The depth that we're fishing rocks and gravel, a flat running anywhere from 12 down to 18 feet deep. It is the last week of October on Mille Lacs Lake in Minnesota. There we go. All right, here he comes. And up and in the boat. Beautiful fish, man. Wow, look at this guy. He's impressive. That's 3 3/4, 4 pound fish there. Beautiful. Wow. And he's just, I think, you know, some of them are holding on sand. He's just light colored. What a beautiful fish. Beautiful in the sunshine. So I've got the Tony spoon, the one I've been catching the fish on. And this is a 5/8 ouncer, and this is a 3/8 ouncer. And when I go to the 3/8 ounce, I don't use casting tackle anymore. I go to a spinning rod with 10-pound Suffix 832. Now the other two spoons, small spoons that I've done well on, you know, you got a classic slab spoon and the Lure Jensen crippled herring. And not only do I cast that, but this is the one that I typically fish vertically if I'm on over deeper fish. And then you've got also the Lure Jensen Laxi spoon. And I've really not fished this much, but what little I have, it's really a finesseful spoon. So those are the spoons that I've done well on. This with the single hook here, you can actually tip that with a small piece of Berkeley power bait. So there's a variety of spoons. The tackle now is absolutely vital. This is the industry's best reel the last year, the Revo MGX, and it's real important that you have something with at least a 7-to-1 ratio. It could be 7/9. They make a 7/9 very fast reel. 20-pound Suffix 832, one of the most beautiful, probably the most beautiful casting super line on the market. This is a Fenwick Elite smallmouth rod. This is a medium action 6-foot 6-inch rod. If it gets too long, it gets too tiring if you're going to do this all day long. So 6'3", 6'4" 6'6" rod and you're set. There's one right on that hump. Now look at that's really quite unusual. I caught another fish earlier that had a little patch on top of his head. Only this fish is actually about a pound, at least 3/4 pound larger. Look how thick that fish is across the chest area there.